Hey, welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet. Today we're going to make a beautiful seafood paella on an open fire, and today we're going to make it on the Lodge carbon steel skillet. This is 12-inch, going to work perfect for what we're doing, so y'all stay tuned. So if you guys have watched any of our previous videos on making paella, you know, there's a bunch of different variations. You know, I always get comments on, oh, well, you know, that particular ingredient doesn't fit with the, you know, traditional blah, blah, blah. You know what? Put in this dish what you like. You know, as long as you stick with the kind of the technique of it, it doesn't really matter. Whatever kind of seafood or, you know, non-seafood you got, it's going to work just as great either way. Those flavors are always going to meld together at the end. So, you know, and we just got this brand new Lodge carbon steel skillet. Hey, nice and shallow, just like a paella pan. So I've started up our fire over here. I got some coals going in the chimney. So a little bit of lump and some, 4 or 5 logs of hardwood. That's oak. Okay, and this is really going to be the key to getting the best flavor out of this. You see how that smoke's curling around that pan already? That smoke is going to infuse everything we're cooking. So we have some small pieces under there where we can control that fire. Let's go ahead and get our pan on and let that start warming up. All right, we're going to start up this pan with a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Use your favorite. We're gonna give it a good swirl around that pan. You know, we got 1 log going in there now, so it's like really gentle. Now, one thing I want you guys to remember with this carbon steel pan is much thinner than a cast iron pan. Really, much more like a traditional paella pan. So we have a whole bucket of wood split over there, some oak. We're going to keep feeding this. And so let's go ahead and let that oil get ready. And then we're going to start our chicken. Boneless chicken thighs that we've chopped up, and we marinated those in paprika, salt, pepper, and oregano overnight. Man, the smell coming off those already is unbelievable. Those are cold. I just took them out of the fridge. Let's give them a good stir. The one thing I do like this skillet, it's pretty slick, and I can toss those guys. See if we can get that on chef cam. You can turn them just like that, right over that open fire. All right, those are nice and brown now. Go ahead and dump them over here in a bowl. Put it right back on the fire. Next thing in, chorizo sausage. All right, that chorizo sausage browned off. Go ahead and dump that right in there with our chicken. Reserve that for a little later. So right back on the fire again. Looks like we need to put another log on. But right into that pan, red bell pepper, sweet onion, garlic, and those are some blanched jalapeno peppers. Oh my God, I tested those. All right, these are really tame, so about a tablespoon of those jalapenos. I'm gonna go ahead and let that veg start picking up some of that great flavor just in the bottom of that pan right there. That's getting up to a nice sizzle now. Been playing with this fire. Going to about a cup of short grain Valencia rice. Don't even think about using any other kind. I'm gonna go ahead and stir that into this And what we're doing here is we're going to fry this rice a little bit raw. So you need a little bit of heat for this part. We got some more wood standing by to keep that fire going. Okay, that rice is cooked off pretty good. We're going to go ahead and put in our tomatoes. It's going to help to deglaze. This is the sofrito part of this dish. You want to let those tomatoes get a little bit of that good fire and smoke and get a little caramelization on them. Also, that rice is drinking in that tomato essence. So right now we're going to go ahead and add some salt. About a teaspoon. You know, that rice is going to need some salt. So do those tomatoes. Sprinkle that around there. Alright, so that rice is just about cooked. So right now we're just going to go in, that's about 2 cups chicken stock. I made that homemade actually. The backs and necks from a whole chicken, wing tips. So right now we need to feed that fire, get that guy going. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and put in, this is our saffron. Key to this dish. Okay, if you don't have saffron, it ain't a paella. We reconstituted that saffron into some warm water, and there's about 2 tablespoons flat leaf parsley. I'll go ahead and stir that in there. Now it's time to stoke this fire. So it's been about 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and start returning some of our chorizo sausage and chicken thighs back into that whole mix there. We're going to have to kind of gauge this because we've got some seafood to come in here too. So I don't want to run the pan over. So I may have to put a little moisture back in here right now just to keep that rice going. Let's put about maybe a cup or so of water in there. We already got lots of chicken broth in that. Alright, so we're getting down to the end of this thing here. Start seeing that moisture level drop off the top of that rice. I'm going to go ahead and put in, these are cherry stone clams. I didn't do a very good job of spacing them. I got some mussels. Go ahead and stab them down in there between them. Put the thick end down. Go. Then we got some shrimp. We definitely don't want to overcook these guys right here. We're just going to kind of, I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them on the top here. Coming up off, you know, the rest of the pan. You can do these however you like. You know, we've been trying to manage this fire. And it's definitely more of a challenge to do this on a fire like I did in the old days. Pan seems to be working just fine. Fire seems to be going just good. So There you go. Now we got one more thing to put on. So our final touch for this particular dish is going to be stone crab claw. They are in season right now in Florida. It's beautiful. Alright, so we don't see any more moisture bubbling at the top. Time to take it off. And I hear that little sizzle. I want that rice to brown at the bottom. It's been a little challenging doing this on an open fire, but the reward is going to be way worth it. For me, this does not need any kind of a fancy plate at all. We're going to serve it right in the skillet, just like we cooked it and brought it off the fire. And believe me, if you're feeding this to somebody else, they're going to say, I can't believe you cooked that on open fire. But we did. It's not easy, but it's very satisfying. And hey, that open fire, that good old hardwood oak wood we use, that, you know, I showed that earlier, curls around that pan, gets into that flavor and makes it extra special. So if you like what we're doing, please smash the like button right down there. You can subscribe to our channel right over there, and please turn on your notifications. And to see some more great Backwoods Gourmet videos, it's gonna be right up there. We'll see you next time. Today we're going to make a beautiful seafood paella, and today, I didn't say that right.